Hey everybody, it's CJ from Handigraphs, and I am really excited to get to record this one because this has been a feature Adam and I have honestly talked about releasing and working on since the beginning of Handigraphs almost 2 years ago, and that is having hit rates now available on the site so you can be able to see not only just the stats and all of the great splits that we give you, but also the hit rates alongside them. And there's some really cool features that we're going to be rolling out along with this. So I'm going to just show you some different ways that you're going to be able to access the hit rates, and then some ways that you can kind of customize and get really creative. So the first thing you'll see is that when you go on to either the batters or the starters table, I'm on the batters table right now, there is going to be a new view for you. I'm on desktop. I'll just give you a quick preview for mobile before we wrap it up. But if you click this will take you to the hit rates page. So we wanted to separate the hit rates and the tables themselves. It would have been a little bit too cluttered. So if you click that, you're going to be right here on your hit rates. And if you click any one of these different stats, you can play around with the line. We have default lines that we've set for these, but if you want to change that, all you have to do is click up or down. What's really nice is on the batter's side, you can actually put this as the hit rates against left-handed pitching or right-handed pitching. So if I only wanted to see who is facing left-handed pitching today, you would be able to see that in terms of filtering down. So what you'll see here, for example, we've got, if we see Sal Stewart, Oswald Pereza, Bobby Witt, all of these have the last 10 and the season. If you want to add last 5, last 15, last 20, you can see those hit rates in here as well. And then what you'll see down here is the book, the price, and the line, and then the implied probability. So we're rolling this out specifically just for MGM for the most part and FanDuel for home run props, but we will be adding more books in the future. We did just want to kind of get this rolled out. What's really nice is that you'll see for if there is a line, we have the implied probability. We'll actually give you an edge based on what the hit rate is for that given split. So by default, we do that with last 10. You can select that though if you want to do like last 5. You can actually see if I use last 5, Oswald Pereza is, since he's been pretty hot in terms of over 2+ total bases, you can see that right here. Now, a couple other really cool things you can do on this page. If you expand that, you'll actually see the game log. So you can see this in a chart mode. You can see this in a table mode as well. And table will actually tell you just, the value, the result, the opponent hand. Gives you a little bit more information than in the chart. So would highly encourage you to go and check that out. And then if you ever want to add this to angles, we've really, kind of buried angles the last couple of months. And so we have tried to make this easier than ever to add that. So you can add that to your angles directly from right there. Now, what you also can do from here is if we just take this back out to go to any, so you can actually save these different types of queries or views. So if you want to do that, you can just go in here and click Save as New, and you can always just go back and just like your saved filters, be able to pull up these different types of views and queries for hit rates. What you also can do from here is, let's say I want to go last 10, and I only want to see guys that have a 60% or greater hit rate on their total base market for 1.5. You can see that right here. So Bangaliers, Olsen, McGonigal, these guys have all been super hot. Again, you can go back down here and you can kind of see McGonigal's just killing the ball right now. But you can add these different filters up here to kind of drill down based on hit rate. So this is all within the hit rates page. Now, what I think is my favorite part of releasing this new feature is being able to merge and marry some of the filters you already loved and were building in Handigraphs for stats and being able to blend that in with hit rates. So for example, I've got a filter here from my HG that's going to be basically guys, if you go look at this filter, guys who are really hitting the crap out of the ball in terms of really high hard hit rate, high barrel rate. They have at least a couple of hits, and they're facing a righty tonight, okay? So this is my normal list, right? I've got Kurtz, I've got Baldwin, Olsen, some of the names that you would expect. Now, what I can do with that is if I go to hit rates, the table that you have on that previous page comes over. So you can actually you can filter by all of the stats. And then if you want to add an additional filter here and say, all right, well, I actually want to see, yeah, they've been really hitting the ball well, but I want to see who has actually been unlucky. Well, Ian Happ, for example, may be an answer to that. Moises Ballesteros might be an answer to that in terms of if you're looking at a hits line of 2.5. If I go to total bases, so if we go to, we can change this to, I think, over. You can do the under as well as too and just do greater than 60%. But you'll see this is a pretty interesting list, right? You've got Nick Kurtz, Jarren Duran. The one I thought was interesting when I'm recording this, he's facing Hauser tonight, is Xavier Edwards. So he's had 2+ total bases in only 4 of his last 10. But if you go back into the table, he's already part of that filter that meets that criteria against right-handed pitching. So he's actually hitting the ball really well. He just has been unlucky. So to me, that's what's going to be one of the most powerful things you guys can do is you can see not just who has been really hitting the ball well, who has been throwing a lot of strikeouts if you're looking at the pitcher side or just throwing a really high swinging strike rate, but who's been getting unlucky? Where is some regression due? And that's something that you'll be able to do with this. One last thing I'll call out is that if you don't want to go into the hit rates table, you don't have to. You can actually click the hit right here. So there's a hit percentage that you'll click that little bar or that graph, and you can actually go to each individual player by that. So if you just want to understand a player's game log, whenever you are on this table, you can just click on that little icon right there, and you'll have all of that same functionality that you had within the hit rates themselves. You'll also see that you got the line and the price right here if we have that available. Last thing I'll just call out with this is that we will allow you to filter by a hit rate on this filter here. I personally like just creating your own stat filters and then going into the hit rates page. But if you just want to filter by everything and not ever leave this page, we're going to give you that opportunity to do so. You'll just see real quick, by the way, here's the example of the starters page. So this will all be available for you as well. And then you can go into any one of these just like I showed you on the batter side. Now, for mobile, what this is going to look like is when you go on mobile. So what we wanted to do was we didn't want to necessarily add new tabs. We didn't want to add more places for you to have to look. So all you have to do is you'll still be on that same page, whether it's starters or batters on the bottom, but you're going to see there's a little new icon right up here, and that's your hit rate icon. If you click that, this will actually bring up the hit rates for that individual player. You can see their line. You can also click on their game logs right here. Really nice. It'll pop up for you. And you can see the table as well in terms of that game log for when they've either gone over or under that specific proper hit rate. The last thing I'll call out is that we did make some enhancements for mobile to make it even easier and kind of encourage people to try and use the card view more. So you'll see that we are actually listing the handedness of the batter that's going to be on the cards, and you'll be able to actually click the pitcher directly from the cards. That'll take you, just one of our favorite features on the table side is actually clicking opponent, going to pitcher. You can do the same now on the batter side, and if you go to the pitcher side, you can do that as well. You can just click that, and that'll actually show you. This one actually already has I believe that filter on, so that's why it's going to show it. But you'll see all of, for example, the Miami Marlins batters. So really excited for you guys to get to play around with this. We'll have a lot more coming. Hit rates are going to be part of the All Access plan. So if you guys are interested in the All Access plan, here's another reason to join. We will also be incorporating hit rates into our AI features of the platform within Game Center, Edge Center, and Ask Handigraphs. But again, really excited. Go have fun with this, and I'll catch you on the next one.